You always fail. Looking rich is expensive. And that sentence alone is quietly destroying millions of people financially. Because modern society trained people to chase appearances before stability. Every day people wake up and immediately compare themselves to strangers online. Luxury vacations, designer clothes, expensive restaurants, perfect apartments, perfect cars, perfect lifestyles. But most people never see the hidden side of those images. The credit card debt, the loans, the anxiety, the overdraft alerts, the sleepless nights, the financial pressure quietly happening behind the camera. And that pressure has become one of the biggest financial traps most Americans never escape. Because the economy today is built around emotional spending. The more insecure people feel, the more money they spend trying to feel successful. And companies understand this perfectly. That is why advertisements never sell products directly anymore. They sell identity, status, attention, validation. They sell the feeling of looking important. And millions of people unknowingly spend their future trying to purchase temporary approval. That is why someone can earn a decent salary and still feel completely broke. Because the paycheck disappears almost instantly. Rent, groceries, insurance, transportation, phone bills, streaming subscriptions, debt payments, unexpected emergencies. Everything pulls money away at the same time. And every year the pressure becomes heavier. Food prices rise. Gas prices rise. Healthcare costs rise. Housing becomes more expensive. Utilities become more expensive. But most salaries are not increasing fast enough to keep up with reality. So people respond the only way they know how. They work harder, more hours, second jobs, weekend shifts, late nights. But even after all that effort, many still feel trapped financially. And eventually something dangerous begins happening emotionally. People stop believing hard work will save them. Because they are exhausted. And exhaustion changes decision-making. Financial stress affects the brain more than most people realize. When someone constantly worries about money, their mind slowly shifts into survival mode. Long-term thinking becomes difficult. Patience becomes difficult. Discipline becomes difficult. The brain begins searching for quick emotional relief instead. That is why emotional spending becomes so common. Late-night online shopping, impulse purchases, food delivery every stressful evening, luxury items bought for validation. Shopping not because something is needed, but because someone feels emotionally overwhelmed. And the modern financial system quietly profits from all of it. Every one-click checkout, every buy now pay later offer, every instant approval loan, every subscription people forget they even pay for. Small charges slowly become heavy burdens over time. And most people do not realize how much money quietly disappears every month. Then debt enters the picture. And debt grows quietly. That is what makes it dangerous. Interest compounds silently in the background while people focus only on minimum payments. The balance barely moves. But the stress keeps growing. And many people spend years trapped inside financial cycles they never fully understood in the first place. Because most schools never properly taught financial education. Nobody clearly explained inflation. Nobody clearly explained investing. Nobody clearly explained how debt actually works. Nobody clearly explained the difference between looking wealthy and building wealth. So millions of people entered adulthood financially unprepared while corporations became experts at capturing attention and emotional behavior. And social media intensified the pressure even more. Now people constantly compare their real lives to edited highlight reels online. Comparison became normal. And comparison became expensive. People upgrade apartments they cannot comfortably afford, finance cars to impress strangers, buy luxury clothing for temporary attention, travel mainly for pictures, and slowly sacrifice long-term peace for short-term appearances. But eventually many people begin noticing something important. The people who truly build wealth usually move differently. They are not always loud online. They are not always showing off luxury. Many of them focus on consistency instead. Budgeting carefully, avoiding unnecessary debt, building emergency savings, investing regularly, learning financial education, thinking long-term, and understanding one powerful truth. Income alone does not create wealth. A person can earn a high salary and still remain financially trapped. But someone with strong financial habits can slowly build stability, peace, and freedom over time. Real wealth is often quiet. It grows slowly, month by month, year by year, investment by investment, habit by habit. Most financially stable people did not become secure overnight. They simply repeated smart decisions consistently for long periods of time. And eventually, the emotional pressure begins changing. The panic reduces. The stress becomes smaller. Sleep improves. Relationships improve. Peace slowly returns. Because financial stability is not only about money. It is emotional freedom. The freedom to breathe without fear every payday. The freedom to stop pretending. The freedom to stop chasing approval online. The freedom to stop living only for appearances. And most importantly, understanding that struggling financially does not make someone a failure. Millions of people are carrying the exact same pressure quietly. But once people finally understand how the system influences spending behavior, everything starts becoming clearer. Awareness changes decisions. And decisions change direction. That is when people stop spending emotionally and begin building intentionally. They stop asking, "How can I look successful?" and start asking, "How can I become financially free?" That mindset shift changes everything, because wealth is usually built slowly through patience and discipline, small investments repeated consistently, smarter spending habits, reducing unnecessary debt, learning valuable skills, protecting peace instead of protecting appearances. And over time, small progress becomes visible. Savings begin growing. Debt begins shrinking. Confidence begins returning. Hope slowly comes back. And eventually people realize something powerful. Financial freedom was never about becoming rich overnight. It was about escaping the endless cycle of pressure. The cycle where every paycheck disappears immediately. The cycle where stress controls spending. The cycle where comparison destroys peace. The cycle where people sacrifice their future trying to impress others today. And the moment someone sees the trap clearly, they finally gain the ability to escape it. Your future is not destroyed because you struggled financially. Your future changes the moment you begin understanding money differently. Small changes repeated consistently over time can completely transform a person's life. You do not need perfect circumstances to begin improving financially. You only need awareness, patience, discipline, and consistency. Because peace becomes possible, financial stability becomes possible, and you can escape the cycle. Subscribe for more real financial truths and money lessons most people were never taught.